Hello everyone, I have an exciting announcement to make. I am going to be starting a podcast. That's right, a podcast. You'll be able to watch it here on the Shmup Master channel. Unfortunately, it's not going to be only about shmups, although there will be some shmup talk, I'm sure. But it's something I've always wanted to do, and to be quite honest, I was getting burned out with the videos I was doing. They're just a massive amount of work, and I need a change of pace, and this is the best way to do it, I think, is to do something that I know I can be consistent at. The podcast is going to be called The Game Fellas. The guys that are coming with me on this journey, the help that I told you about earlier, is my buddy Nate Rowe, who's going to be producing the episodes, the audio version. Nate is someone I've known since the Gaming Rebellion days when we ran a website together, so that's number one. Number two is Tony Brazel, who, if you watch my channel enough, you're probably very familiar with him and his work. We've collaborated quite a few times, and he's a good friend of mine. He'll be coming along for the ride. Then we have Derek Moore, also an old friend from the Gaming Rebellion days, who very smart sci-fi junkie kind of guy. I think he'll do well on the podcast, and you'll get a kick out of him. Then we have Mark MSX as he goes by. I refer to him as a shmup expert. He'd probably get mad at me for saying that, but I consider him a shmup expert. And he does a podcast on shmups. I've mentioned him on my channel before, and he's going to be coming along also, so you'll get some shmup talk from him for sure. Lastly, we have Justin and Soren Day, who are two guys I met while I was in California earlier this year. They're from the UK. Both passionate gamers, and I thought it'd be interesting to bring somebody on who would have a perspective from outside the United States. The story about Justin and Soren is pretty interesting because if you weren't aware, well, first of all, if you've watched my channel, you see that I did a video on Toe Jam Mineral, which is a little outside my wheelhouse for this channel anyway. So one of the reasons I did that video was because Greg, the producer of the game, the original Toe Jam Mineral and every game since, the creator, I should say, he's a friend of mine, and I interviewed him about 4 years ago for the development of the new game, and we kept in touch ever since. And he invited me out in March to the launch party of the new game, and so I went. Met a lot of people I never dreamed that I would meet, game developers, and I got to hang out with Macaulay Culkin, which was interesting. Pretty cool dude. And of course I met Justin and Soren, and we decided to keep in touch, and this idea for the podcast kind of came about. We were kind of joking on Twitter, so let's start a podcast. So we did, and it's been about, at this point, maybe close to 3 months of work we put into this, getting this going. So be prepared for the Game Fellas. For any of you that are maybe disappointed that I'm taking a different route for this channel, a different path, so to speak, for a while, just know that I'm not giving up on shmups completely. When I get the urge, I will still do shmup videos, but I think we're going to be able to keep it pretty consistent with this podcast, so you'll get consistent content coming out on my channel on a weekly or at least bi-monthly basis, or bi-weekly, however you want to say it. So I'd say minimum 2 episodes a month, but it's going to be fun. As far as all my other promises and plans I have for this year, in my update video I did earlier this year, I just want to apologize. A lot of that's not going to happen. I bit off way more than I could chew, and the usual excuses: life, family issues, someone in the family has cancer, someone who I care very much about, so that, all these things kind of combined and put a damper on some of that. But I still plan on doing some shmup stuff. But I hope you enjoy the podcast, and if you don't, that's cool, but I enjoy podcasts myself quite a bit. I listen to quite a few, and I even watch some on YouTube, and you'll have the option of both here. You can listen to it on any of place you prefer, iTunes, Stitcher, wherever, or you can watch it on my channel and watch us actually have our dialogue out, and with a few surprises thrown in. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate every subscriber and every person who has commented or liked the video and shared my videos. It means a lot, and please come with me and my friends on this new journey. I will see you with the Game Fellas very soon.